Sarah, we're back again. I don't know what you're going to say. The last one was a lot of fun. And we don't know this when we are recording this, but I hope we had lots of fun answers back from our last one. And if you are listening to this and you think about your answer, which you definitely will, you can make sure you share it on social media and let us know what your answer is, what you would see. I don't know if it's even pick or share or enlighten me. What is our question of the week?
Honestly, this one, so Tina and I have a document with all of our questions. This is not in those lists of questions.
Oh.
I literally thought of this probably 20 minutes ago because everyone listening, because everybody's a runner, everyone has one of these. So I want to know, do you? I want to know your greatest running bathroom story.
I knew it was going to be a poop story. Yes.
Did you know that?
Yeah. As soon as you were like, everyone has one, I was like, yeah,
yes,
this is what we're going.
Everybody's got one.
Yes, I do have one. I have many, actually. Well, there was the poison ivy incident from last year. Do you know about that?
I do not remember this.
Okay. All right. So I'll give two. One, last year, and this, I think most people listening to this should know. I was running at like 5 a.m. with two friends one morning, and I needed to go to the bathroom, and I was like looking everywhere. And where I live, there's constant construction. So I knew there had to be a porta potty somewhere around, but for some reason we could not find one. We spent like 15 minutes circling, and I'm getting more and more urgent to the point to where we're like, okay, let's just try and make it home. And we get to 7 minutes away, of roughly where it's 7 minutes away. And I was like, I'm not gonna make it. And so I dive into this like person's yard that is like just big enough to where I figure the cameras wouldn't be on me in this corner, because everyone has cameras nowadays, which is partly a stressful thing for me, at least. I don't know about you, like knowing that everyone could catch you at any time. And so I go into this bush, I grab a leaf, drop the leaf, pick it up, and I'm like, didn't think anything of it. Go, run back.
Oh.
And then the next day, or a few days later, I'm like,
so you have wiped with
the leaf. So I'm like, do I have hemorrhoids? Like, what is going on? Why am I itchy? And so I was like, what is wrong? Like, this is so weird. So I like start using hemorrhoid cream because I'm like, this must be what's going on. And then the next day I'm talking to this neighbor outside who clearly has no interest in my life. He just is like doing the whole, hi, how are you? And expects me to be like, good, yeah, you, bye. So he's like, how are you, Tina? And I'm like, I just noticed I have poison ivy on my leg. And he's like, well, you know, could be just a rash. And I was like, no, that's definitely poison ivy. And he was like, well, you know, could be something else. And I'm like, nope. And so he walks off, and then I'm like, oh no.
Is that when you connected the dots?
Now I've realized like what it is that's itching me. And so for the next 2 weeks, it is as bad as you thought. Like I would wake up in the night, like digging my fingers into my palms, like, like it was so bad. It is as bad as you think it would be. Unbearable. And so that,
gosh,
it was
just lasts so long. The only thing there's like creams, because we have, oh my gosh, like literally there's a forest behind my house, and it is just chock full of poison ivy. I can't go like a couple months without getting it, but I have, as of yet, I have never wiped with poison ivy. I do not envy that at all.
I had 2 rounds of steroids and it still didn't clear it up. It was so bad. So that was one. And the other one, I was in Philadelphia. Do you know the loop around Kelly Drive loop, the loop around the Schuylkill?
Around the indoor track?
The river. There's that river loop. I really needed to go one day, and I just couldn't hold it anymore. And so I just went down by the river and just went there when anyone on the other side of the river can like see me. And I'm just going there, and it just like it ended up getting on my leg, and I was just so then I had to run 3 miles home, and I was just crying because I was so embarrassed. And I was like convinced everyone could see it on my leg. And so those are my 2 worst ones.
It's just so funny because in your head, I'm sure you pictured it being like, I'm sure everyone has seen that like meme of that runner with literal diarrhea, like completely coated. I'm sure it was just like a smudge, and anyone would have thought it was dirt.
I don't know if anyone, but I was wearing white socks. So I feel like It could have been mud, but in my head, everyone knew.
Man.
And because in my head, everyone had seen me on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
So, oh, God. All right, your turn. That's my shame of the day.
Oh, gosh. So I first have to say I have about 1 million, but I will narrow it down to one. But I'm going to have to change names to protect the guilty parties here because it is the best running bathroom story I have ever heard, and it is not my own, but I can tell it. So when I was training in the mountains in North Carolina, so Zap Fitness is the professional running team up there. Mm-hmm. So up there in Boone, there is a greenway that a lot of runners use, recreational runners, the professional runners, everybody. And at one end of it is a bathroom. So there's the greenway on one side, then there's a bathroom, and then there's a road with cars going by on the other side. So the assistant coach, I'm not going to say his name, let's call him Brian. The assistant coach is out for a run. And he has that exact feeling that you describe, like, okay, code brown, I've maybe got like 90 seconds to play with here. It gets so bad that he's sort of like doing that, like, they can't see me, but like that stiff-armed waddle where you're just like basically duck walking as fast as you can. And it's like the bathroom's like a quarter mile away. And he's like, I just got to make it to the bathroom. Now it's January. He gets to the bathroom. He's like, oh, thank God I made it. It's locked. So now he's like, okay, one way or the other, like it's happening. So he has a choice. He goes on one side of the bathroom where it's either facing all the runners on the greenway or on the other side of the bathroom where it's facing all the cars. So he chooses the car side. So he sort of tries to casually lean his back against the bathroom wall, pulls down his pants halfway. His pants are at half mast, and he basically poops down the side of the bathroom. Now, this is like halfway through the story. So he gets done pooping. He's like, okay, I'm sure cars saw me. Whatever, it's fine. So he pulls up his pants, gets done with his run. He's like, okay, I'm fine. I went. So he gets in his car, forgets about the whole thing, drives up to the Zap facility. So he gets there and he's working. It's middle of the morning when the owner of Zap, so Zika is her name. Mm-hmm. So she comes into the building and she's just in a bad mood. So she kind of sits down and Brian is just like, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And she's just like, I don't know, man. She just kind of throws up her hands. She's like, I just don't know what the world's coming to. And he's like, what's going on? She's like, I was at the Greenway and someone just crapped all down the side of the He's like, it was me. I did.
What did she say?
I don't even know. I didn't even, oh gosh. But when he told me that, I was just like, I've literally, like, sometimes, like a story, like I couldn't, I was in tears, like literal tears when he was telling this story. It was so funny. Because like we've all been there, but that just added layer of like just being shamelessly caught 2 hours later. He could have just been like, oh yeah, man, that's rough.
Yeah. Can you imagine if she was one of the people that drove past in that moment?
I just wonder if you'd know, like driving by in a car, if you'd be like, oh, I totally know what that guy's doing right now. Yep. Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I do remember once being in Philadelphia. This was peeing, but along the Valley Green, the main trail, and then going pee, like pulling off the best place I could to pee, and then someone coming seeing me, like catching me in the act, and then having to like face them again on the way back and being like, I'm just gonna pretend I don't see you there, but I know you just saw me with my
honestly, it's like it's kind of astounding that we don't get caught more than we do, because I feel like I stop to like go at least, I don't know, maybe 5 times a week, like minimum outside, like on my run. So it's like you would think, like statistically speaking, that I'd get caught like a dozen times a year, but I don't. I've only been caught like a couple of times,
I know, it's I mean, we've all got our stories, and if you are brave enough to share your story with us, we would love to hear it, even if you want to change names and say it's your friend. I'm not saying that was your story. No, I'm not.
I would have owned that hardcore if it was me, but it was not.
I'm just saying, if someone isn't comfortable, you could tell us it's your friend.
Yes. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can say it's Brian as well.
We're not going to believe you, but yeah.
Oh, Sarah, good question. I knew that one was going to come at some point, so I'm glad to have got that one out of the way. Thank you so much for joining me again. We will see you next week for another episode, and this is fun as always.
We'll see you next time.